Investment in green technology and its role in job creation was the focus of a briefing in the Senate Environment and Public Works Committee today, where experts warn that the U.S. is in danger of missing the boat in the next industrial revolution. Lindsay Arndt was there, and she joins us now from Capitol Hill with the details. Lindsay?
Well, Peter, Senator Barbara Boxer, who's the chairwoman of that committee, is a woman on a mission. She says she wants to make sure she finds a way to get more investment for green technologies and to make that a key component of any economic recovery strategy that gets implemented by the Obama administration. Now, to that end, she invited legendary Silicon Valley venture capitalist John Doerr, as well as Thomas Friedman of the New York Times, here to Capitol Hill to speak to lawmakers about the need for greater government involvement to help spur a so-called green revolution. The problem, these two said, is that the United States is investing only a fraction of the money that's needed to drive innovations in green technology, and as a result, the U.S. is lagging behind significantly. In fact, just 6 out of the top 30 alternate energy companies are based here in the United States, and both said that's really something that has to change. And in an interview with me today, Senator Boxer said that with the right legislation, which he hopes to have a hand in crafting, the United States could turn that around while at the same time lifting the economy out of recession.
Sometimes you're in the darkest place, which we really are right now with this recession, and there's an amazing opportunity right in front of us. And that opportunity means stepping up to the plate on becoming energy independent, on fighting global warming, and putting people to work in very hands-on jobs.
I also got a very rare opportunity to speak one-on-one in an exclusive interview with John Doerr, the Silicon Valley venture capitalist. He's a partner in Kleiner Perkins. He's also one of the earliest founders in companies like Google, Amazon, and Sun Microsystems. And I asked him, for starters, whether he saw any parallels between the tech boom of the 1990s and the current environment in terms of the green technology industry right now.
There's many parallels and there's some differences, but do you remember with the internet we moved to a widely distributed, connected, networked economy? That's going to happen with energy generation, and what is going to enable that is something I argued for today, which is part of the stimulus package be a national unified smart grid, so that our aging electrical distribution system is modernized and it's given more capacity, more control, and so we can take in more information, in fact, using the internet as a standard.
Well, what role does the government play here? You talked a little bit about it fostering tax incentives via the government, funding. Specifically, how are you trying to get attention from the government? Where do you think this funding should come from? What role should the government play? How involved should they be in fostering this so-called green revolution?
Right. So the government should not own these investments. There's more money that flows through even today's capital markets in a day than all the governments in the world in a year. So the role of the government is to help set standards, set the playing rules on the field. In some cases, provide guarantees for early deployment of these new technologies. There's a very important role the government has not been playing, and that's to fund research and development in these new green technologies.
What's the single most important driver that you see that will get us out of this recession? Because it can't simply just be investments in clean energy, because that's a long-term prospect. That doesn't create jobs right away.
Well, I disagree with you. We have lots of unemployed construction workers right now, and we could immediately get returns in less than a year from something as basic as weatherizing and insulating American homes. So I think making the big decisions right about energy, as we did when we made the early decisions right about the internet, will propel the markets forward. The markets are forward-looking, and they'll see, aha, we have a price on carbon. We're committed to a unified national grid. We're committed to what's called a renewable portfolio standard for a % of our energy that will come from green. That will cause massive investment and massive job creation.
How closely are you working with the Obama transition team on getting some of these initiatives implemented into the stimulus package, for example?
Well, let me say first, it's an extraordinary team that he selected. Carol Browner, Stephen Chu, John Holdren. These people are spectacular, and honestly, we're working very closely with them. So
what are you hoping to get in there in that stimulus package specifically? What are you putting where are you betting your influence?
The same things that I advocated today, that we have a unified national smart grid, that we put a price on carbon and give investors and businesses certainty about so they can plan and invest forward because of that. Business leaders want that. I've advocated for what's called a renewable portfolio standard, that some % increasing of our energy will come from renewable sources. Getting the rules of the road right for the utilities is an enormously powerful thing to do. These utilities have 100% market share, vast cash flows, and low cost of capital. So they're a partner and an engine that we want to have going forward. And then finally, there's what I call RD&D. Basic R&D. The United States invests less than $1 billion a year in research and development on clean and green technologies. And then the second D there is deployment. It's for loan guarantees. It's for incentives. If we put that package together, we may not be golden, but we could be green.
Finally, I asked John Doerr who he thought should be the nation's CTO, Chief Technology Officer. He offered up Eric Schmidt, the CEO of Google, but he also said the guy already has a job. Peter?
All right. Lindsay Aaron up on Capitol Hill. Thanks very much, Lindsay.